All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I rarely cover these just because the views aren't that good, but I think it's well worth making a quick video here. All right, so we're going to talk about the indices. We're going to talk about their equivalent ETFs. Excuse me on that, right? And look, the same rules apply. I don't care if I'm talking about a penny stock. I don't care if I'm talking about the S&P 500, right? We want to stay above them all and fly, right? We don't want to lose them. And so far, it's kind of looking like we're losing them, right? So negative MACD, RSI not looking great. I'm getting into the technicals already, right? But just the stress was the rules are the same here, okay? I often say this, and I'm going to say it one more time, probably a couple times during this video if I had to guess. But look, the index is like the ocean, okay? And when the ocean is good, I mean, just look at 2024. We've literally just been riding the 8 and the 20 like a champion, right? It's when the ocean is calm and good, beautiful things happen, right? And I hope, knock on wood, good things have happened for you 2024 in your account, right? Things are starting to get a little scary here. And if you're looking at the markets, things are looking really weird in the markets, all right? The next video I'm going to make, they're random stocks, right? Because now we have these silly movers. And I say it often, when the S&P starts to get a little hectic, when the Dow Jones and NASDAQ are following, I always see little silly stocks running, right? So I'm never here to use buy the fear as like a, know what to, like, this is scary, this is fear. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of the times I don't buy anything. I just sit and wait, because look, we've seen it. We've lost the 50, a little bit of a recovery, bad things happen, lo and behold, beauty, right? So, there's a bunch of ways this will play out, but I'll tell you, when things look scary, I'm not buying the fear. And most of the time, I'm sitting with the light on and waiting for the darkness to pass, if you know what I mean, all right? But before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are a bunch of old ones, actually. I haven't covered this in a long time, but I will draw some new horizontal support and resistance lines. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad if you've got any other opinions than mine. I forgot what I normally say right there, whoops. But look, end of the day, as long as you're just here, you're giving me your time, oh, I am so grateful for it, all right? So S&P 500. Look, this is the SPY. This is the S&P 500 ETF. If you're looking at the actual S&P 500 SPX, look, this is 503. This is basically 5,030, right? It's obviously 50 here, but to me, they're give or take a decimal away from each other. And just look at the technicals, right? We're losing the 50 with the doji, same negative MACD, same RSI, same volume, SPY. Same, right? So there's 2 things I generally look for when I look at the both of them, right? Number one, they better be in unison, all right? If S&P 500 is doing something and then SPY is doing something else, whoa, that's a red flag. And I'll be honest, that rarely happens. I've seen it happen, and believe me, the confusion is just, it's astounding. I have no idea what to think when that happens, all right? So again, you want them to be in unison. The next thing I kind of look like, and again, if they're in unison, it's pretty much going to be the same, but the resistance lines, again, these are old ones, so it made sense back, and they really were kind of the same. Oh, it looks like I had some on the actual S&P 500. Maybe if I draw some on the SPY, it'll line up, right? But the spacing tends to be about the same on them as well. So, right, I guess they're both kind of the same thing. But yeah, unison is definitely the important thing there, all right? So let's talk about what's going on, and I kind of started the video with it, right? There are basically 4 things we're looking at, right? There are moving averages, there's the MACD, the RSI, and the volume. That looks bad, that looks bad, that looks bad, that looks bad. When you're 0 for 4, what are you going to do but think bad, right? So I'm for sure not here screaming horrible crash and this and that. No. But when I'm 0 for 4, look, if we were looking at a random stock, it'd be very easy to have this like conviction in my voice and be like, boom, look, it's a little hard to do it with the S&P 500 because again, I believe I believe in the market. The market's always going to recover, right? But you look at this and that's bad. The other thing that I see, look, that's a scary candle on Monday. Okay, Monday, devastatingly, I don't know if that's even a word, but it very, very horrible loss of the 50 moving average, and not by a little bit, by a lot, all right? And just look at this, look at this, look at this. It's the first time we've touched the 50 since we broke it back in November, early November too, okay? And I mean, you know, I showed this in the beginning. We've been here before where we'll lose the 50, we'll make a recovery-ish, but then clearly it doesn't become good enough, right? Is that going to be the same thing we see? Look, right now, I don't know, but there's a couple similarities that are already like, come right here. We're already looking at that MACD that's in the negative right here. This is actually the recovery point, right? But I'll get to the differences shortly. Right here, we also see a lot lower of an RSI. The RSI is already in the 20s when we're right here, right? So it actually makes sense to me that we would recover as opposed to this 33 right here, okay? Let's talk about the difference though in the MACD real quick. Just look at the steepness difference. If this was a water slide, oh, you're going fast on that water slide right there, right? So that's a steep, steep, steep drop. And again, we just talked about that big, big candle right there, right? So that's scary. And again, I just talked, listen, RSI generally hits 30 as the floor and then wants to go back up. It's not good to see an RSI at 19 not that long ago. Again, what's this RSI? That's another 20 not that long ago. And if I remember correctly, that's pretty far back. That's right here. One more. That's a 15. Okay, again, that's a 2022 date. It's like late 2022, right? So I don't know if I want to really look at that 15, but at the minimum, there were some not that long ago's in the 20s, all right? So I don't think that this RSI is actually going to recover like we did there. I think there's a little bit more, all right? Let's see where I draw some lines. Look, this is the first line I would draw. Two big candles right now. That's basically the 100 moving average. I can't even really use that. Well, that's kind of... All right, let's just leave it. Let's just leave it, and then we'll go from there. Something around that. I guess we would use that kind of top right there. No, I don't even like that. I guess we'd use that. Okay, it seems to me we're coming to 498 right here. If I had to put a crack at it, if we lose 498, we're basically coming to the 100 moving average. And again, if I feel like I want to delete this line, I really don't like that line. I care more about that blue line right there than the little white one I just drew, right? But yeah, I think if we lose 409, we're making our way down to 490. I think 490 is probably the lowest I would expect for now. The 100 moving average is a very, very strong line. All right. So if I had to put the next line down, I guess it would be that. Yeah, I would call it that. I think that's too low right there. I would call it that. But again, I'm not even trying to say that number right there because again, I think right now 490 should be the lowest that this thing goes. Maybe we're actually even able to see, I don't think this is going to hold. I'll be real honest with you. I don't think that 498 is going to hold. Again, I want to just zoom back to this one more time, all right? If we lose the 100, it actually was a fast fall to the 200 last time, all right? And again, that would be a bad fall. It for sure would, right? Again, the lines are still kind of coming up as the days go, but last time when push came to shove, the 100 decided to just move and do nothing, and we just hot knife through butter, right? So right now, I'm actually a little bit afraid of this 100. I think the one thing that I'm thinking in the back of my head is the RSI is pretty low. If we come all the way down to here, the RSI is going to be crazy low, and we probably would need to recover, right? So, yeah, I don't think, I think we're going to lose the 500s. I think we're going to come to 490. Hopefully that holds. I think that's the best thought on the S&P 500. Really quickly, same kind of thoughts here, I imagine. Yeah, look at it, right? I would have drawn the same line right there, and look, you would have seen it was around that same 49 number, right? But yeah, we have that same bad candle, same doji. It seems like it really doesn't look like this is going to hold. I don't think it will. I don't. I think we're again, that's a bad MACD. That's not a great RSI. That's not volume. The two are lining up for me. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you think otherwise. Let's move into the NASDAQ. I love me the NASDAQ. I'll be honest with you. I trade tech a little bit more. So I know this one pretty well. So real quick, if you can please subscribe, if you can please share this video, it does wonders, right? So to me, it's a little funny because SPY and SPX kind of make sense, and you can remember them, right? NASDAQ, the ETF equivalent is QQQ. All right. When most people think of that, this is what comes to mind. You can see the exact same things happen, right? We have that same bad candle doji right there under some moving averages, MACD, RSI, volume. Let's take a look at NASDAQ. Bad candle, doji, same thing, right? So again, we see the unison. That's a good thing. Obviously, it's a bad unison, but hey, they are at least doing the same thing, okay? So look, one more time, I'm going to echo what I said about the S&P 500 SPY. I for sure believe in the markets. I for sure believe that the markets will recover, all right? They always do. Let's zoom out, right? Like, this one's not as old. This one wasn't around. Oh, it was. Get out of here. Yeah, look at that. Either way, you might see some big, bad, scary drops for sure, right? You might see some scary drops for sure, right? But end of the day, we are always going to go up. It's just, it's what I believe, right? So that said, when the waters are good, it's super easy to trade. When the waters get choppy and wavy, oh man, it's hard, and this is getting worrisome. All right, I feel like it's the exact same words as in the S&P 500, right? Like, it seems like we're coming to the 100 moving average. It really does. Maybe even as low as 410 if we lose it. Same thing I said with the SP 500. I really don't want to talk about going any further than the 100. Right now, that would put this at 421, 422, give or take, right? But oh man, it's hard to think otherwise. Again, the MACD is negative right now. It's been a while. It's actually been since November of last year. And look, it doesn't go negative too long, but this is actually a little more on the horizontal side, right? So if we actually go down instead of like, because look, this is down. Don't get me wrong, right? We were at 3.9, let's basically call it. We come down to 3.4. It wasn't as bad as that SP 500 drop in that same moment. I think that's why I'm calling that a little more horizontal, because I just saw this and I remember that being more, right? But you know, it's down, right? And nonetheless, this is hard to trade. This looks like it's getting hard to trade. This is what we love waiting for. And I'm never here to say, buy the fear, be above the fear, this and that. No. Sometimes the best thing to do is just wait on the sidelines, wait till we get back over all the moving averages, and then go, right? So, yeah, again, I'm kind of repeating the same words in the last one. So I feel like we're coming down to the 100 here. Same thoughts on the NASDAQ, right? I actually have a couple lines here. I don't think either of these are going to hold. I'll be honest with you. I'm looking at where I drew them. This one's probably the strongest one, and this one's basically where the 100 moving average really is, right? So I'm going to delete that for sure. And this is a nothing line. That's for sure a nothing line. Yeah, I like these. I do. I think these are our lines right there. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Let's look at the Russell right here, the IWM. This one looks worse than the rest, okay? This one has already lost the 50. This one has just about gotten to and maybe lost the 100, right? I say maybe for a reason. Real quick, if you can please share and subscribe, it does wonders with the algorithms, all right? But That's a bad candle on Monday, and just like we're seeing on every other indice, we're getting a doji today. Okay, dojis don't count, so you can't say that we are. Yes, we're 2 days under, but no, that doesn't confirm that we've lost the line. Okay, everyone's at that 30-ish RSI, and normally I say 30 is low, but just look at this one. This was actually at an 18 this year. So I mean, how we're not, the pain's not, the volume's just starting to pick up a little bit. It's the same bad that I'm saying on the rest, and my concern becomes, if the Russell lost 100, does that mean the other ones are? Now, I very much would say my order is S&P 500, NASDAQ, Dow Jones, and then the Russell. So, I don't think it's necessarily apples to apples, but when the smaller ones are already falling, you kind of got to figure the big ones are going to do the same, right? So it's worrisome basically across almost all of these, right? So look, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. I'm not saying crash, but I'm definitely saying pay attention and get worried. It looks like it, right? So we got to recover some lines before we feel comfy, okay?